Hey guys, this is Sharad with REsimpli, bringing you another case study call with Mason Bridges. Hi Mason, welcome to our call.
Hey, Sharad. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for jumping on the call, Mason. I really appreciate your time. Before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? What market do you invest in? And what kind of investing do you do?
Yeah, thanks so much for asking. So I am in small city, Thomaston, Georgia, population 27,000 in the county. So submarket of Metro Atlanta, really middle Georgia.
Okay.
Kind of an underserved market for off-market real estate, but we're in the path of progress with Atlanta kind of expanding. So I saw the opportunity to really build an off-market business here. And that is what I've been doing for the past year. I come from the prop tech space. I've worked at Open Door, Mind, done a lot of investor relations, remote investing, mainly in the single family space. We've worked with some institutional folks as well, but I actually got laid off last year through a layoff round, which I know has impacted a lot of people in the prop tech space. So I had already been laying the kind of foundations for this business, and that just thrust me into being a full-time business owner, whether I liked it or not. And we've seen a lot of progress over the last 12 months.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, sometimes, a bad thing is actually a blessing in disguise, which you took advantage of, looked at the positive side rather than kind of, complaining about. You're like, hey, I'm just gonna go and start a business. So more power to
Yeah.
you.
And
And
I
what
just
what
had a
kind of
baby too, so I was
oh,
forced to.
congratulations. Do you have a
Yeah,
boy or a
it
girl?
was yeah, I had a boy. Yeah. So at that time he was
Nice.
maybe 2 or 3 months old. So it was kind of a sink or swim moment when you really look at it. But like you said, a little bit of a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely, man. I truly believe it's these kind of moments that just change the trajectory of your life. And you just look back and like, man, that getting laid off was absolutely the best thing that happened in my life. So yeah,
Right.
congratulations. And
Thank
what
you.
kind of investing are you doing?
So right now, if I look at our deals, our pipeline, we are mainly in the single family space, but we are down here in kind of an area where there's like a manufacturing boom. Vacant land, raw land is, popular outlet.
Okay.
A lot of home builders down this way as well. These are just underserved areas for the last 20, 30 years that are now
Right.
like starting to see population influx. So we do about 70% wholesale. I've wholesaled single family, commercial, multifamily, and land. And we do probably about 25% will flip. And then the rest of those leads are, we'll take down some rentals for our own portfolio. I have very specific criteria because I don't like rental property. So it's just got to check all those boxes. And then I am licensed. So licensed in Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona. And I will still work with some clients from time to time or do
Nice.
traditional listings. Yeah.
Okay. Is it just you and your team or you have other team members?
It is just me, although I did just get off of a call with Rocket Station. I'm gonna try my hand at my first virtual assistant,
Oh,
and then
nice. Good luck. Yeah.
we may hire somebody local. There's a girl that manages a restaurant here that's trying to get into real estate, and I think she might have a perfect personality to run appointments and do some
Oh,
lead
that's awesome.
management.
Yeah,
So,
congratulations and good luck with that. So you've only been investing for about a year. Do you mind sharing how many deals have you completed in last year?
I've been investing for a little bit longer than a year, but the business full time.
Yeah, business full time is what I meant. Yeah.
Ever since we launched the buyer next door, we've done about 20 deals.
Oh, wow. That's
Yep.
amazing for the first year full time in the business. That's
Yeah,
really, really
yeah,
good.
it's been pretty lucrative. It's been
So,
hard,
so the
but
market size
lucrative.
is like 27,000 people?
Well, I expanded. So I've expanded,
Okay.
right, from my county as an initial market. Then we have expanded into a neighboring market, which is even
Okay,
smaller.
okay.
And then last year or last month, we doubled our marketing budget and expanded to
Cool.
another market that is about 4 times the size of where I'm
Okay.
at. So
I was gonna say in a market of 27,000 to buy 20 houses, you're pretty much buying every house, right? Yeah.
well, mainly wholesaling, right? So that's the
Yeah,
thing is,
wholesaling, yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we expanded into a much larger market, right off of Interstate 85, about 45 minutes south of Atlanta, and
Awesome.
starting to see got our first deal under contract there
Nice. I love it,
yesterday.
man. Yeah. And so you said you doubled your marketing budget. What are the marketing channels you're using in your business?
Part of a group out of Spokane, Washington, that mainly focuses on direct mail. So
Okay.
right now, full direct mail. I do get a lot of referral business just being in my like hometown.
Okay.
My father's a real estate attorney, so he's referred
Okay.
over some probate stuff, and then the VA that I'd be bringing on would be specifically for some cold outreach, would be cold
Got
calling
it.
mainly.
But primarily paid marketing is direct mail right now.
100%, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that consistently I hear. I don't know if you know who Billy Fernandez is, but
Hmm.
yeah, so he's doing like 30, 35 contracts, and 80% of their deals are coming from direct mail. That generally tends to be what we notice. People that are doing consistent deals, direct mail generally tends to be like primary marketing channel. So yeah, you picked the
For
right one.
sure.
How long have you been using REsimpli for?
Ever since I started, so about a year. Yep. So part of the program that I'm in, the group that I'm in, this is the main CRM tool that they use. So instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, I just I started using it, and it works for everything that I need personally.
Yeah.
It's really all encompassing.
Yeah. And what group is it that you're part of? You said from
Well, it was the
Washington?
Collecting Keys podcast, but now the group that they have is called the Scale Community. That's where I'm at. Been there since maybe May of last year or so.
Got it. Were you using something else before you joined that group or just started with REsimpli?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I had PropStream, so I was just doing some like campaigns out of PropStream,
Okay.
which I still use as my data source. But no, it was Google Drive and legal paper, legal pads.
No. Yeah, we've
There's
had
not
some of
much
those
else to it.
investors, yeah, just
Yeah.
systemize their business. So when you joined REsimpli, how was your onboarding process with us?
Yeah, it was great. That's one of the things I really like about it. So I was telling you before we started is that there's a lot of demos and resources on there that you can go through. The customer service has been extremely helpful when I run into issues, a lot of tutorial videos. So it was really simple. I will say my experience might be a little bit different though, because I did come through that scale program where like we had, they had like an hour long training video on REsimpli. So
Right.
I kind of got a
Yeah.
crash course through there. They had already done a lot of the lift and pulling it all together. But yeah, it was really simple. I mean, and now I feel like I'm a bit of a pro at it, kind of,
Nice. Awesome. And
So
you feel pretty good about the customer support and resources available to you if you have any questions?
yeah, I've never had an issue. Response time's been pretty quick. I've never went to them with an issue that we haven't resolved. So
Awesome. Yeah, cool, man. So you've been doing this full time for about a year. Would you say has REsimpli helped you achieve your goals that you set about a year ago?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the key to this is having an organized sales pipeline, right? And
Right.
effective follow up, and there's just no way I would be able to do that. And then the
Absolutely.
KPI function, that's something that I'm currently kind of digging into the resource a little bit more, starting to track my data, kind of know what marketing's working.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that that's only going to increase
Oh,
my
for sure.
efficiency. So
Yeah, especially with direct mail, if you break it into different campaigns and track each campaign separately, you'll know
exactly,
exactly which campaign is working and all the efficiencies you gain goes directly into your bottom line. So yeah, that's you're
100%.
absolutely doing it the right way. Can you share any specific tangible benefits you've noticed since you started using REsimpli?
Biggest thing right now that it's helped me do is it's helped me kind of understand my cost per deal. So really helps me kind of know, okay, I'm spending this amount on marketing every month. And it helps me understand what my potential deal flow is going to look like on a monthly basis, which in turn, right, I kind of know what my price per deal is based on the exit. So it just allows me to forecast my finances.
Yeah.
And I think that's big, right? As a like starting a new business and a solopreneur, you get into cash crunches, right?
Yeah.
So to have a better, like at least be able to forecast based on some of the metrics I'm able to pull through my CRM here, just gives me a better idea of what type of revenue I should be working with on a month-to-month basis. So whenever I get, opportunities, right, we have to be opportunists. When those come across the desk, I can make a little bit
Absolutely.
more of an educated decision on whether I should take that risk or not.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think you such a good approach to business. You're thinking about not just, okay, just like so focused on sales, but you're looking at the operational side of the business also to make sure you're making the right decision. The accountant in me makes me so happy that, you're making like data-driven decisions. Which features of REsimpli do you find the most valuable?
List stacking.
List stacking. Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, for sure. I mean, the CRM's awesome. I've really started to utilize the dispo function a lot more just to kind of, because I would get a deal under contract and I would, within a matter of 2 days, I would call all kind of folks, right? And then I'm scrolling through my text messages trying to see who did I call, who's gotten back
Yeah.
to me. So utilizing the dispo section a little bit more as like a CRM has helped
Right.
recently. But the list stacking from an operational standpoint, it just allows me to not waste money on marketing, right? And make
Yeah.
sure I'm hitting the right people. So
Especially if you're doing direct mail. I think it's
yeah,
absolutely
it's huge.
valuable. Yeah.
So
Are there any deals like of the 20 deals that you've closed that you've been able to close from like an automated follow-up sequence, or just the ones that you had, maybe they did not close in a month or two, but you had to follow up with them, over like 3, 6 months period?
no, I haven't closed any, like I haven't closed it through a drip, but I've definitely re-engaged old leads that have end up turning into deals.
Yeah.
Right. I've found that like you can set up a drip for the RVMs.
Yeah.
And in my market, right, I feel like it gets across a little bit more, and people will call and be like, I got a missed call from you. And these are folks
That's
that I've been
interesting.
trying to call for 3 months and they won't answer. But when they just get a random voicemail that shows up and they don't, like their phone didn't ring, they
Right.
always call back. So like
Yeah.
that's been something kind of intriguing. I actually have a priority on my to-do list now. I'm going to go through all of my warm leads and see if there's any I should set drips up on, and actually run a little bit of a campaign to see if that helps me with re-engagement. Because right now I don't have anybody to help, so I've got to use that automation a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let us know if there's anything we can do on our end to help you with that. Absolutely. We'd love to
Sure.
do that. What are your future goals and how do you see ReSimpli playing a role in achieving them? Like looking 2, 3, 5 years down the road?
One thing I like about the software and the platform here is that you can add multiple seats, right? And you can really run a whole sales team out of this. And, with some of the operational stuff it allows you to do, you can really kind of, it's almost an all-in-one tool. So my 3 to 5 year vision is to work on the business, right? And not work in the business. So to do that and to service the market that I want, my goal is to service the whole band from Columbus, Georgia to Augusta, which is just covers the whole middle part of the state. Very underserviced. To do that, I mean, you're probably looking at a monthly $30,000 to $40,000 marketing budget.
Wow.
Probably looking at a team of 12 to 15 people, a lot more branding, right? Like you just really got to up level everything. So that's my goal. Right now, I'm working towards getting the systems in place that are needed, doing some automation, doing some hiring so that I can kind of remove myself from a lot of the day to day and actually work on the business. But that is the ultimate goal, is to do this virtually, not just be in my home market.
But be able to go into more virtual markets. Yeah.
Right.
Is there anything particular about ReSimpli you think sets it apart from other real estate softwares? You haven't used anything but other software that are in the market.
I think it's obviously it was built out specifically for real estate investors, right? Like when you really dig into it, it's got every tool you need for every different type of exit you have on a deal, right?
Yep.
So you even referring things to agents, it's got the ability to kind of manage your active inventory or rental inventory as well. No, I mean I think it's really intuitive. You guys are obviously making updates. I hit the refresh button like 3 or 4 times a week,
Yeah.
so there's constantly being worked on. You take the feedback, you add the different functions, and yeah, I think the biggest thing that I would say is if somebody's considering utilizing something like this, and you're going to be running a real estate business where there's multiple exits, multiple moving pieces, you're going to be adding team members. From my perspective, this has everything that you need to be able to do that and really consolidate, right? Because prior to this, I had like 4 or 5 different softwares I was using, and this just helped me consolidate down to I just use REsimpli and PropStream and like Google Drive for organization. Like
Right.
that's my business. So
Yep.
it's helped me be a lot more efficient.
Absolutely. Mason, thank you so much for coming on the call and sharing your experience. If someone wants to connect with you, learn a little bit more about your journey, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, you could on Facebook, the buyer next door. That's where you can see a lot about our business updates and what we're doing. And then me personally, just Mason T Bridges on Instagram and the buyer next door on Instagram. I have 2 separate accounts. I like to keep business and personal life separate.
Cool. No, I totally understand. Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes also. Mason, thank you so much for coming on the call. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.